A user accidentally deleted an important system file in Windows. What is the best way to recover it? Run System File Checker or SFC, reinstall Windows, use Task Manager, disable the firewall, or increase the RAM. What would be the correct answer here? And the correct answer here is Run System File Checker or SFC. Actually, I need to press it, and as you can see, SFC Scan Now scans and repairs missing or corrupted system files in Windows. Next question, a company needs to encrypt all files stored on employee laptops. What Windows feature should they use? Windows Defender, File Compression, System Restore, Check Disk, or BitLocker. And here's the correct answer is if you want to encrypt all files or all hard drive. As you see, a company needs to encrypt all files stored on the employee's laptop. This means that you want to encrypt pretty much all hard drive. You would use BitLocker, as BitLocker encrypts entire drives to protect data from unauthorized access. A laptop user reports that their touchpad is unresponsive. So touchpad is that thing which is on your laptop. And what should the technician check first? The device's RAM, the CPU temperature, the user's Windows account settings, a touchpad settings in Windows, or the Wi-Fi configuration. So what should the technician check first? And first, the technician, logically, if the touchpad is not working, should check touchpad settings in Windows, as the touchpad settings may be disabled, requiring a reconfiguration through Windows settings or the function keys. And next question, a technician is troubleshooting a Linux system that fails to boot. Which command should they use to check the boot logs? So if your system is not booting and you wanted to check the logs, what command you would use on Linux? DMESG, ifconfig, check disk, ls-l, ps-aux. So which command should you use? And the correct answer here is you should use command DMESG, as the DMESG command displays system logs including boot errors and hardware failures. A user installs a new software update and their system begins running extremely slow. What is the best troubleshooting step? Uninstall the update, increase the RAM, run a disk defragmentation, update the BIOS, or disable Windows Defender. And here the best troubleshooting step should be uninstall the update, as usually whenever you are installing something or getting into your system or changing into the system is to revert back to previous state, or try to revert back to the previous state before you make any other different changes. So uninstall the update. Is a software update if a software update causes performance issues, rolling back or uninstalling the update is the best initial troubleshooting step. Next question, a technician needs to transfer a large file between two Windows computers without using the internet. So you have a large file and you want to transfer it between two different computers without using the internet, and you don't have internet. Which method is the most efficient to achieve this, or to move the one file from one computer to another, which is large file and there is no internet connection? And the answers are using a USB flash drive, sending the file via email, uploading to a cloud service, using an external hard drive, or setting up a direct Ethernet connection. Which would be the best way to achieve this? And the correct way, or the best way to achieve this, would be by setting up a direct Ethernet connection. As direct Ethernet connection using an appropriate IP configuration provides the fastest and most secure method for a large file transfers. And direct Ethernet connection, for those who doesn't know, this means that we are pretty much connecting our computer by using a wire, because this is Ethernet connection. We are taking and plugging in wire with RJ45 port in one computer and the other end into another computer. Then we are configuring connection by using ipconfig, for example. We are checking what configuration we have on our computers, and we go into both computers and we are setting them up on the same subnet or on the same network, and then we are able to communicate between these two computers and send or transfer files between them. A user's Windows laptop shows a black screen after login. What should the technician check first? The display settings, the user's profile settings, the system's RAM, the system restore settings, or the device's GPU drivers. So what should the technician check first in this scenario? And the correct answer is the device's GPU drivers would be, I believe, the most best answer here, as a corrupted GPU driver can prevent Windows from displaying graphics after login. Booting into safe mode to reinstall the driver is a common fix to fix this problem. And next question is, a company is setting up a network and needs to assign IP addresses dynamically. Which protocol should they use? DNS, so for assigning IP addresses dynamically. Whenever you read your questions on your CompTIA Plus exam, main thing and the best thing is to understand what that question is asking you. And like I mentioned, guys, if you want to be able to do it and do it fast, because on your exam you will have to understand and point out or understand the main thing about the question, only thing how you can achieve is by doing at least 1000 these types of test quizzes for yourself before you take the exam. Otherwise you will not be prepared, because you will have a time, like for example 90 minutes only, and you will have to do in CompTIA it is usually about 80 questions, and you will not have time to analyze the question. Your head should already be prepared to understand the question and be able to think, and only way to train your brain to be able to do it and to understand these questions very fast is by doing these quizzes and practice tests for yourself. And like I mentioned, myself, for example, whenever I am preparing for these quiz exams, I am doing at least 800 to 1000 different quiz questions or practice test questions. So which protocol should they use? DNS, domain name system, DHCP, the dynamic host configuration protocol, NAT, network address translation, FTP, file transfer protocol, or ARP. And here's the correct answer is DHCP, as DHCP assigns IP addresses dynamically. As explanation, the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, or DHCP, automatically assigns IP addresses to devices on a network. And next question, a technician is troubleshooting a Mac that won't boot past the Apple logo. What is the best first step? And talking about Mac OS operating systems, there will not be many questions on them. However, you should also know the basic things about this operating system. So reinstall the Mac OS immediately, replace the hard drive, run a Windows repair disk, boot into Mac OS recovery mode, or reset all user accounts. And the correct answer is boot into macOS recovery mode, as macOS recovery mode allows technicians to diagnose issues, repair disks, and reinstall macOS if necessary. Next question, a Windows user reports that their system frequently crashes with a blue screen error. Which tool should be used to analyze the crash logs? Event Viewer, Task Manager, Disk Management, Device Manager, or Command Prompt. And here from Windows operating system for your Core 1 exam, you should know about, you should know about this blue screen of this error, as this is the only pretty much thing about operating system which they are targeting in this exam. In Core 2 there will be more questions on the operating system and software. However, in Core 1 this is one which they are targeting for some reason, and they will have some question of blue screen or blue screen of this error, so study this also for this Core 1 exam. And here the correct answer is Event Viewer, as the Event Viewer logs system crashes and provides detailed information about the cause, helping diagnose BSOD, which is blue screen of these errors.